Hey guys, Anthony here, and just dropping in to give you a little disclaimer to this episode. We actually recorded an episode before this one on Dr. Caligari, which apparently got lost to the void of the Audacity program. So you're going to hear some jokes towards the end of this episode on Conquest that probably won't make sense and are super gross for no reason. So, sorry, we're going to record Dr. Caligari again, hopefully here in the next few weeks. But so if there's anything that doesn't make sense or references to a previous episode, you didn't miss anything. It's that episode is gone. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this episode on Conquest. It's probably my favorite episode. All right. Later.
I know what you want. You want to see the movie.
Well, so speaking of people who don't know how to use bathrooms appropriately,
yes,
I have you ever walked into a public restroom and just something seems off?
Every goddamn time I walk into a public restroom, I feel like something is off.
So the other day I was at work and we share a restroom with the other business that's on the other side of the big industrial building we were in, and I'm looking at this dude's feet, and it's like he had got his pants halfway off and his shoe is sitting askew like a few feet away from him. His shoe's off and his pants are off, but they're all still on one leg.
What?
It was very confusing.
I picture that's how Elvis died. His pants half off, just his foot's askew under the stall.
And my only thought is somebody was like, "I'm not gonna make it." Why throw the shoe off?
I would never take my shoes off in a public restroom.
There's a difference between
chronic stomach problems. I would never take my shoes off in a public restroom.
Well, I mean, this is a nice bathroom that's maintained. It's not walking to a bathroom at like a fucking Walmart.
Yeah. And we don't have employee restrooms. We use the public restroom.
No shit.
Yes, that's why I don't go to the bathroom at work.
Wow.
I drive home on my lunch to shit. Are you not joking? I won't do it.
So you're like, all right, I got a 30-minute lunchtime to run home.
I have an hour lunch, luckily.
Wow. Yep. So you run home.
I live
drop a deuce.
Yep.
And then go back to work.
I drive home, drop a deuce, make some nuggets, then go back to work.
Why?
Because I
some
need
nuggets,
to eat.
And then make some nuggets, and then go back to work.
Then drop a second deuce, a deuce, and then go back to work.
You drop the after credit stinger, and then go back to work.
Like a Marvel movie.
And it's weird being in a public bathroom because I've been in so many weird situations in public bathrooms where you walk in. Yeah.
I think there's more of a story there.
Maybe.
Okay.
Me and our roommate Kai were walking around Venice Beach once, and I opened the door to one of the public restrooms, and it was just this dark. I could barely see the toilet, but it looked like the walls were just covered in black tar and shit. And I swear to God,
sounds like one of my friends was. You know who? I'm not gonna name names, Trevor. And he used to do that shit in like Jack in the Box and stuff all the time. He just destroyed their bathrooms because he thought it was funny.
Was he a member of the Jackass
yes,
crew?
Yeah, or he thought he was.
Oh my God!
Well, that's like when you told me stories about your roommate not having the best bathroom etiquette. I'm like, that sounds like something Trevor would do to spite you as like being funny. But I guess they don't.
That Venice bathroom was haunting.
It recurs in your dreams.
Only seconded by the time me and a buddy of ours, who turned into a crazy alt-right conspiracy theorist, went to see Secret... No one you know.
Oh, okay.
I went to see Secret Chiefs 3 at this little club in Los Angeles, and I walked into the bathroom, and there's just blood and piss all over the floor. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm just going to piss in the corner.
I want the story.
I don't know.
I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I have this weird knack for just ending up in these weird bathroom situations.
And then I was in this weird compulsion, just lick it all up.
Well, Brandon, it's really disgusting.
I apologize.
That's the problem with real life. You never get the story.
It's true.
You know? Like, I remember you remember the Elisa Lam thing where she passed away, which was all very tragic, of course. But I'm like, we'll never know what happened.
Yep.
We'll never know what actually happened here.
We just have that eerie...
that weird...
That
fucking
closed circuit... Yeah, that
techno-y fucking Cronenberg dance that she does. And
are we talking about the elevator video?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll never know.
Nope.
We'll never know the actual story of what happens. And I think that's what draws me to like true crime and stuff. Is trying to, like, you won't know. It's like a mystery. Like, you have to figure it out. It's a murder mystery without an ending.
Right.
And it drives me fucking crazy. So your bathroom with the blood and the piss drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I want to know what happened.
Well,
how did that get there?
I don't know, man. I'm assuming somebody's in there just peeing and bleeding.
Oh, yeah!
But speaking of things that
we've all
have...
been there.
Speaking of things that are very strange looking and maybe don't have a story... Welcome back to the Real Obscure Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, and today we're talking about Conquest.
Yes!
Lucio Fulci's 1983 film,
So excited
Conquest.
to talk about this movie. I'm so excited. Round the table?
Well, for those of you who don't know, this is the synopsis of Conquest.
Well, wait, let's introduce ourselves first.
Oh,
and then we'll
yeah.
dive into
We
the
have
full
names.
Fulci brilliance.
This is going to get annoying to people who are trying to keep up, and we should probably establish a real...
Like an actual
intro.
So
Although
we
I
sound
feel
like people that know what we're fucking
sometimes
doing.
I'm fucking nailing these segues.
You are. You nailed
did.
it.
You nailed it, but then you like.
But then
right into the
I took the car
Yeah,
off the road
right.
and down the hill and into the embankment. Yeah,
With the
I'm
kids
Anthony
in the trunk.
Trevino. Can I go now?
Okay, go.
I'm Anthony Trevino. I am a writer and all-around film doofus. And to my right, sitting here, shotgun is...
Brandon Fries, Anthony's talking pie. Anthony's favorite talking pie.
Go fuck yourself.
And just to the right of Brandon is Nick Rock, slacker, and an electronics department worker who questions his existence on a regular basis.
Hey.
Don't sell yourself short, Nick.
won't.
You're also my almost 2 decades long personal fleshlight now.
Yes. It's rough. It is a rough life to have.
Wait,
Well-
how often do you clean that fleshlight?
Not
Never.
Yeah, never.
Never. I am rank.
There's just a hose filled with mayonnaise.
It's
God.
hose filled with mayonnaise. And that's why I love Brandon.
And so we're talking today, like I said at the top, about 1983's Conquest.
Conquest.
Yes.
So this movie opens on a bunch of ghosts?
Just real quick, we all watched the same version, right?
I think
The version
so.
on
The
YouTube
version
with the
we
Japanese
watched-
subtitles.
Yes, I just wanted to get that out first. So they have the context of how we watched it. Because the whole time I was watching it, I'm like, I want a Blu-ray of this. Like, I want a clearer picture of this that I can enjoy.
So Brandon and I first saw Conquest by accident.
Mm-hmm.
We were house sitting and getting real drunk and real high, and we were just flipping through, and we came across it on the El Rey network, which, if no one's familiar, that's Robert Rodriguez's television station. And I think, like we always do, we ended up having a conversation about how we're like, man, we just don't run into weird movies like we used to anymore, where we used to go to the video store and go, this cover looks gnarly as hell, I'm going to watch it. Oh, fuck, this movie's rad.
Ding, 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 ding.
And then it happened to us. We were flipping through channels.
Happened right when you were talking about
And I
it.
thought it was perfect for this podcast.
Yes.
And yeah, so are we ready to get into this movie?
Yeah, Invisible Beach people,
Yeah,
right?
are there a bunch of ghosts on this beach?
Good start.
I think they're supposed to be gods.
I think it's just their ancestors talking to them. Like it was like a flashback, but they decided to do it as ghost people on a beach because fuck you. I know,
Right, and it's one of the main characters whose name is Ilias, and his dad is telling him, you got to go off and fight evil, and he gives him a magic bow. And God, this
God,
scene,
I love it. I love it.
Wow, Nick's showing his hand early.
Right, my hand is on the table. This movie's fucking rad. And the whole time I was watching it, the only word that kept coming into my head was fucking rad. Like, if you need a one-word synopsis for this movie,
Rad.
rad.
Yeah, it's God, I love this movie. Whoops. So
I'm not saying anything.
Hi, Poppy.
Brandon's being coy.
Ding, 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 ding. So yeah, it opens on Ghost Beach, and God is giving a speech
guy
to
with
his
the big
son.
beard.
He has a big beard, big all-father-looking
The
figure.
beginning of it made me feel like it was Altered Beast, the movie. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Genesis, Altered Beast, rise from your grave, and he's got the big beard. That's how I felt at the start of this, and I'm like, I'm on board. I'm on board with this.
It's your very typical kind of fantasy. You got to go on a quest to destroy evil type of storyline.
Also, this movie is directed by horror maestro Lucio Fulci.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said that at the top.
Well, but I think that we should comment on it because he's mostly known for the splatter horror movie.
Well, I don't think he's known for the splatter horror movie. He's known for Italian horror films.
I'm gonna throw out
such as Zombie.
I'm gonna throw out an unpopular
Beyond.
opinion right now, especially in this room.
If you say you
I'm
don't
not
like
a fan of Fulci.
get the fuck out of my apartment.
like
Get the fuck out of my apartment.
I like the Beyond.
You just literally blew
Shit.
Brandon through the wall.
Brandon's having a seizure. I like the Beyond. The Beyond is fucking awesome. I remember not liking House by the Cemetery.
You don't like Zombie?
Zombie's cool enough. I need to watch it again. It's been a while since I've seen that one.
City of the Living Dead?
Haven't seen it.
Get the fuck out of my apartment.
But I did see,
Stop that.
what was the other one I was going to mention? Cat in the Brain. I didn't care for.
Okay.
That seemed kind of just gore for gore, which is fine, but I don't give
The
a shit
fuck do
anymore.
you think I watched Fulci movies for?
Right, no, I get it.
What is wrong with
But
you?
what I like, what I liked about this movie, and I'm not trying to jump ahead at all, but like the first scene gets brutal, like violent brutal. And I'm like,
we'll get
shit.
there.
Okay, yeah,
So
I'm not trying
from-
to jump ahead, but
so-
I'm like, that's Fulci.
So from Ghost Beach, we go to this kind of ceremony where we meet Okran, who is the goddess with the golden face,
Badass villain, auto-tune voice through the whole thing, digging it.
who oversees a legion of dogmen.
Who reminded me of Hyena Man from Island of Dr. Moreau with, what's his name?
Which
Brando?
one?
Brando.
The Brando one, Hyena
Val
Man.
Kilmer.
Yeah.
Side tangent. Have you guys seen the documentary Lost Souls with Richard
No,
Stanley?
but it is in my watch queue.
Holy shit, it's good.
I really wanna watch
And
it.
I had the opportunity to hang. I'm gonna be that guy right now.
Name drop?
Yeah,
Go for it.
I had the opportunity to hang out with Richard Stanley just for a little bit
You
at
son of a
HP Lovecraft Film Festival. Cool fucking dude. Of
course he
signed
is.
my copy of Hardware. Which I don't know if you have you guys seen Hardware?
I haven't seen her. I saw Hardware back in the day,
Brandon.
but not recently.
This weekend, me and Brandon are gonna watch Hardware
Nice.
because that movie fucking rules.
Nice. Richard Stanley's the man.
But
dude. Even hearing the stuff about Island of Dr. Moreau and the shit that he went through, and like Fairuza Balk was trying to get his back and tried to leave, and the studio was like, "We'll fucking sue you." That movie's insane,
Dude, he came back, stole a mask from the props department, and then became an extra just to get back on the set of his own movie.
because he's a fucking G.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Side note, I was just saying that the monsters in this movie reminded me of the Hyena Man character, who I used to think was Ron Perlman when I was a kid, but Ron Perlman's a different character, and that's a whole.
Do you guys like the Island of Dr. Moreau? I kind of.
I do. I
don't remember it enough. I know I like Island of Lost Souls enough.
I bought Island of Dr. Moreau on Blu-ray like a month or two ago, just because I hadn't seen it in a long time. I'm like, I want to get this, and man, I dig the fuck out of that movie. Val Kilmer just being ridiculous when he's like doing the Brando impression. Like, I'm all about it.
I wanna say right
love
now, our hearts go out to Val Kilmer.
Thoughts and prayers.
And
Val Kilmer.
Why? Because his career? Or did something happen?
Do you not know?
What happened?
Oh, we got
we'll
a video
show
to
you the video
after.
before you leave tonight.
Oh no! What happened?
Dude, have you not? When's the last time you saw Val Kilmer?
A while. I mean,
Okay.
he did that like Francis Ford Coppola pick.
We're gonna move on.
Oh no,
So-
Iceman! What happened? I love Kilmer.
So,
first of all, just side note. Since
side
we're
note.
on-
Now we're talking about the Saint.
Side note on the side note. We are talking about the same.
We're never not talking about the Saint, goddammit.
Side note, One of my biggest things, I know movie people have things that are like, that bug them, that are like their big things. Kilmer not getting at least nominated, and if not winning, for Tombstone, an Oscar, is one of my big thorns in my side in movies in general.
Was that your Dr. Caligari way of delivering it? Val Kilmer for not winning an Oscar for Tombstone, an Oscar?
Dog dick?
Hey man, I'm out here soaking up the
gamma rays.
The gamma rays, and he's not getting nominated.
No,
And
but that's
nomination could have given me golden dog dick.
that's one of my biggest like thorns in my side in Hollywood. He won that shit that year. I don't care what anybody says. But back onto the main track, we're talking about Conquest, not Val Kilmer and what he is now.
So at the end of this ceremony, Okran, golden face goddess, sends her dogmen off to, I guess, just
get the bow, right?
She doesn't know about the bow yet.
She doesn't know about the bow.
She doesn't know about the bow yet. She just sends them off to bring back basically what they do is they take brains and they crush them up and they ingest it
like the clowns from Killer Clowns from Outer Space,
right?
With the big curly straws,
like a tasty Slurpee.
Yeah,
yeah. So she sends her dogmen out to this village, and they basically roll in. They capture a bunch of women. This dude comes up and he says, "Hey, we don't have anything. We're all malnourished. Most people are dying." And dude gets his wig split.
I was about to say, what happens to that guy? His brains get knocked the fuck out of his head.
Dude, homeboy gets his cap peeled.
Yep. Yeah, hard.
And then we immediately hard cut to them dragging a woman out who they then rip apart.
Rip in half and rip her head off.
I can't say...
And the graphics were fucking rad.
Well, because it's Fulci.
It's Fulci. Fulci does good shit. And I remember after that scene, I remember starting it and being like, oh, Altered Beast the movie. All right, cool. Yeah, fucking Beastmaster, but kind of more raw. I'm into this. And then they split that dude's wig. Split that woman in half. Ripped her head off. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm watching a Fulci movie. I forgot for a fucking second.
And then they take it back to Okran. And then they smash it up a bunch, and they do this weird version of puff puff pass where they like each snort it and pass it off, or are they? I can't remember. Are they smoking it or snorting it?
They're snorting it.
It's so rad. It's rad.
This is like you get a little too drunk in your D&D campaign,
right? And you just start doing weird shit. That is a great way to put it. I liked it because it was like sword and sorcery. But then Fulci horror hardcore. Yep. I'm like, okay, I get what this movie is. I am now officially strapped in. Yep. Let's rock and roll.
The next date I go on, I'm going to be like, listen, I don't do anything weird, but I do Fulci horror hardcore.
Hardcore. This is like if Lucio Fulci directed a Frank Frazetta painting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yes. Yeah, 100%.
If you like that description, I'm not going to wait to the end for the recommendations. If you like that description, watch this fucking movie tomorrow.
Yep.
So Okran gets high off the brains, and she hallucinates that there's this blank-faced warrior.
Is that what that was? That was a hallucination?
It's a
I saw the blank from Dick Tracy show up, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Right. So she's sitting there, and she's rubbing herself down with that snake.
Yep.
And I'm not going to lie,
Very
it's a pretty...
Frazetta.
Listen, there's some sexy shit in this movie.
No,
this being the first time I went... I make sense to myself now.
Those dogmen, those sexy as hell.
Speaking of dog dick,
we're not getting into that
so
again.
So this faceless warrior runs in, and he kills her with the super magic god bow that his dad gifted him, which I don't think we touched upon. He gives him a magic bow.
Yeah,
earlier on in the
light
movie
from the sun.
Yeah, and it sounds like a laser gun.
Yeah.
And she hallucinates this, and she's like, "Oh shit, I can't let this happen.
I can't have this wicked bow.
I gotta get that bow.
Yeah, I gotta get that bow because that motherfucker's gonna kill my ass."
Yeah, very Oedipal.
Very. And then the next scene is Ilya's walking around. He's kind of there's a lot of walking in this movie.
There is a lot. I will give you that. Almost like Lord of the Rings levels of walking from one place to another.
And Ilyas is looking around, and it's never really... A lot of stuff in this movie is never really specified really what's going on. So it's a lot of him walking around, and I think he's looking for evil and he's looking to conquer evil.
I think this is the first time... I think I need to say this now. Because there was a very bizarre, kind of idiotic comparison I was going to make. It's kind of like Homer's Odyssey. Where there's not like a plot. Like there kind of is. She's trying to get the bow from him. But it's more just Mace and Ilias just doing shit. Just going and fucking fighting monsters. And then someone gets hurt and it's like, oh, well, let's heal him. And then more monsters show up. It's just kind of a rambling Odyssey-like adventure. Just shit happens and they deal with it.
I think this movie came out a year after Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And they were like, do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it came out between Conan and Beastmaster. And they're just like, just fucking do whatever. This is the big thing right now.
Yeah. Which accidental awesome movie.
Right. Exactly.
And so Ilias is kind of walking around and he sees this girl and I think she's standing by a lake. Mm-hmm. And she's like bathing in the lake. And he's like, oh, hey, what's going on? But she doesn't see the snake that's coming up to bite her. Ilias hits the snake with an arrow, kills it, and he's like, yo, I helped you. And she's like, cool, thanks, bro.
Thanks, bye.
I gotta go. And then Ilias incels out, and he's like, well, you're fucking welcome.
Yeah. If I have one thing to say about the movie, it's the view on women isn't great, but it's also, I don't know if it's a product of its time, or if it's a product of the setting of the story, because they're back in fucking barbaric times.
I mean, but look... If you're going to talk Frank Frazetta...
Right,
I mean...
Exactly. Frazetta's very, objectify-y.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's...
And have you seen the old school Frank Frazetta print I own now?
No.
I'll show you
Show it after
it's fucking cool.
That sounds right.
And that Val Kilmer clip.
That Val Kilmer signed...
No, it's going to be sad night now.
So this is the first action scene in Ilias gets jumped by the Wolfmen.
Yes. First of all, shot him in the dick. First beast that comes out,
he gets shot in the dick.
Right in the dick.
Yeah.
Just to show him he means business.
Yes, he shot the snake, and then a minute later shoots the dude's snake. And I'm like...
I see what you did
Right
there.
in the dick. I made a note, shot in the dick, because it was so obvious on that first guy.
And this ends up being too much for Ilias. He's an untrained warrior. I feel like he's not experienced. So that's when we're introduced to a character by the name of Mace.
Mace. With his bone nunchucks.
I call them Bone Chaku.
Bone Chaku. Ooh, I dig it. I dig it.
And I love his intro scene because it's just...
Yep.
And he fucking throws down. Yeah. He helps Ilias out. He saves him. And then my favorite part of this whole scene is towards the end they're talking. He's like, yeah, oh, thank you for helping me, blah, blah, blah. And Mace goes, I didn't help you because I wanted to save you. I just want that fucking bow.
Right? First, backtrack 2 seconds. In this fight, there is a press slam. There is a monkey flip.
Okay. Yep.
There is, I think, a suplex.
Okay. Yep.
There are a few... signature WWE wrestling moves throughout this fight scene.
Come on,
it's true.
And
it's true.
And advance the podcast.
It's true.
I noted the monkey flip. I noted the press slam. Continue.
The press slam?
Yeah, where they run at him and he flips him up over. Yeah. It's a Royal Rumble move to get him over the top rope.
Yeah, idiot.
You guys.
And they both kind of look like...
You guys, I'm not going to apologize for having girlfriends in high school.
But you should. They both kind of look like the Road Warriors.
They
Hawk
do.
And,
Animal. Legion of Doom.
Yep.
For life.
For those of you that can't see, Nick just did a chest
they
thump.
look a little bit more like Demolish, Axe and Smash.
Okay. Yeah.
Demolition, Axe and Smash.
Yeah. What a couple of lazy names. Okay. I'm Axe, he's Smash.
They're legends.
How fucking dare you?
Thank you.
They are
warriors.
Spitting on the name
of Demolition.
Of Demolition, Nation of Domination, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
They do look kind of Jim Duggan-y. They do.
Yep.
Okay, advance.
I can't participate because I don't know.
Mace wanted the bow. We'll get back on track.
So he wanted the bow, and he's like, yeah, I didn't save you because I think I want to hang out with you, weird young boy. Yeah. I just wanted your bow and arrow.
Well,
the dog
was also like, I don't have friends.
Oh, yeah, he's like, I don't have friends.
people.
Right, he's like, I don't have friends. I have enemies. Yeah. That's it.
He's friends with the animals.
Raw as fuck.
But then, as Brandon said, he sees the injured hawk, and he helps the hawk. He heals it.
Because he likes animals.
Because he's a fucking G.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck people, animals rule. I'm like, this guy is my avatar.
I love that the longer Nick talks animatedly, the more I can see the circle of sweat just start to form on his shirt.
Bullets pouring from my forehead. I'm like, he likes animals, bro.
And so
he's like, bone chacos.
Bone chaku. Fuck.
The amount of sweat on my body is equal to how much I love this movie.
And so the dogmen go back to Okron and they say, "Oh, he beat us up," and she's like, "Get out of my sight."
Because she has that weird, like, auto-tune voice all day.
It's fine.
And I'm like, it's so
fine.
80s
Okron
awesome.
is my newest crush.
Yeah, she's great.
And then it cuts back to Ilias and Mace, and they're walking around. Again, a lot of fucking walking in this movie. And they're like, hey, we need some food. Hey, there's an old man that has food. Let's just kill him.
They just fucking kill this guy.
Straight up just kill this guy
Mace
for his food.
Shoots him with an arrow. Walks up to his dying body, pulls the arrow out, grabs the meat that the guy was carrying, and was like, peace.
This guy's just out on like a Sunday morning walk. Like, I got myself a goat.
Yep.
Today's going to be a good day.
Arrow in the neck.
Arrow in the neck.
Dude, this is right in the heart.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it was in the heart.
It's right in the heart. And I was like, I don't know if I can be on Ilias and Mace's side anymore.
All day.
That
all day I'm on their side. I don't give a fuck about that old man.
This guy's last thoughts were John Locke's last thoughts. I don't understand.
Oh, don't do that to me.
Oh,
don't do that. You want me to cry on this podcast?
I do. I want you to empathize with this old man because he was just living his life.
I'm not going to empathize
John
with
Locke
him.
has the saddest fucking story on
I
Locke.
literally cry when I think of that line. I don't understand. Yep. It's like, oh, God. Oh,
it's tragic.
My heart hurts.
His life was tragedy.
Tragedy.
Welcome back to the Lost podcast.
Right?
Shout out to our boy Brian Abu Chakra.
We Go Back podcast. You should check it out.
He does do an awesome Lost podcast.
He does. Oh. It's actually really good. I've listened to it.
Yeah. And so after that, Mace and Ilias are sitting there and they're having some dude bro bonding time. They're eating the food that they fucking stole from a man they murdered.
That's true.
And
all day I'm with Mace, bro. You can angry glare at me as you yell into the microphone all night. I'm on Mace and Ilias' side.
And Mace is like, men meet men and they wonder who's going to die. Yeah. But men meet animals and it's no question. And I may have done that backward because I'm a little drunk now.
It's close.
So
it's I think that is
Nick's
what he
like,
says.
it's close, but I have a Mace diary.
Right. So I have a Mace crush book. But I think you said it right, but his whole thing, and then Ilias is like, well, aren't you eating an animal now? He's like, yeah, but I didn't kill this animal.
It was dead before I got there.
killed the dick carrying the animal.
I killed that sucker.
And I'm like,
it's not my fault.
I love this
It's not my fault that old man was stupid.
Yes, exactly.
But then they hear noise. Mace goes out and he's like, oh, nothing. And you mean to fucking tell me they don't hear this dog man 2 feet away going... And when they come back in, and this is where the movie starts to get hard to follow for me, and I don't know, maybe it's the VHS rip that we watched on YouTube, but all of a sudden they're trapped by fire in the cave that they've been sitting in.
I got a little lost at this part too. Well, is this before or after they kill the...
Well, they're trapped by fire. They try to find a way out. One dog man comes into the cave. They kill it, and then the rest of the dog men are like, "Well, fuck this."
Yeah, they can't. He's dead now. We're not gonna do what he just did.
Can we just sit down?
Yeah.
Dog mama didn't raise no fool. I'm out of here.
Yeah, and so Mace and Ilias end up in a different part of the cave, and they're like, "Oh, let's just hang out here.
We'll just wait.
We'll just wait it out, right?" Then a snake shows up. Mace scares it away with his bone chaku, which then leads them.
I don't even know that he was scaring it, bro. He was just like.
He's like a snake charmer, and the snake went, "Oh
and the
shit!
snake was like,
I gotta lead you to sanctuary."
Like, all right, I'll get you out of here. He's like a wannabe Beastmaster.
That's you're legitimately
Yes.
probably right.
I know.
Wow.
I know I am.
And so because of the snake, they find an escape route. They get out. And then we cut to Mace and Ilias just kind of happily walking through the forest. They got it's playing this upbeat music, and they got a sheep. Mace is holding a sheep over his shoulders.
They stole
and
it
he's
from another dumb fuck. Some other dumb fuck.
Another guy
they
they straight up murdered.
I'll cheers to that. But I think you're all gone now.
No, they didn't kill him. They Scooby-Doo waited for him to turn his back, and then they just took his fucking sheep. That dumb fuck.
I don't.
So long, idiot.
Anyway, I killed that guy and I took the sheep he killed. I'm great.
Yeah.
My name's Mace.
Cool, man.
Have you seen my bone chaku?
And so they waltz into this village, and we then see the girl that Ilias had been trying to talk to earlier, who was like, okay, thanks for killing the snake, bye, peace out. And then, Ilias is like,
It gets a little more problematic here, because he goes up to Mace, he's like, hey, who's the girl? And Mace is like, oh, I have her every time I come through here. You can have her if you want. And I'm like,
you know what? You know
really?
what? That's just the way barbarians do,
That's
dog.
what I'm saying, though. Is it a sign
Robert
of the
E.
time?
Howard was sitting behind his typewriter, pinning all those Solomon Kane and Conan stories, going, killing monsters, getting pussy.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm like, is it supposed to be indicative of the setting, or is it just because 80s movies treated women like pussy with legs?
I think it's both. It's both. But I will say that having Okron as the villain is kind of cool,
kind of rad,
and very much.
I mean,
it's
they
not
have her naked
reminiscent
and writhing with a snake a lot, but it's still rad.
Lucio Fulchi wants Anthony to have something to think about when he's going to bed at night.
That's fair.
But
Anthony, I want to have something for you to talk about.
That is literally not how Lucio Fulci talks.
Pizza pie.
Pasta bajou.
Oh my
Mamma mia.
God. He's like, Anthony, it's Lucio Fulci. I want you to think about a snake goddess.
Anthony, she has a golden head, and she plays with snakes, and she has black feathers. Mamma mia.
Mamma mia, pizza pie. Are we done?
I think we're racist now, officially. We're all at least a little bit Italian, right? We can get away with that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Are you?
No.
I know. Oh,
Not
shit.
even a little.
You son of a bitch.
Fuck you, Italians. Whoa.
I know Anthony and I are at least a little bit.
I can say that. So I have some Italian friends.
Yeah, you're sitting at a table with them.
Well, I'd certainly hate to hear what you say about I'm in the black. I'm sorry, I'm in the Black Lodge.
Oh.
I think we should drink every podcast.
I should not have had that second beer.
So anyway, Mace and Ilias roll into town. Ilias is like, yo, that girl that I was trying to spit game at? And Mace is like, yeah, I spit game at her all the time. Anyway, if you want to... Nick is literally red. Nick is as red as the balloon on his Pennywise shirt.
I'm good.
And then it's kind of your usual. They eat the sheep they brought. They have a good time and they go to bed. And so I have a question for you guys. Is this a dream that Ilias has of getting close with the woman, or is this real?
I didn't think it was a dream.
Because of the poor quality, I was kind of like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, because they also kind of make the whole movie look like a dream.
Yeah, this movie's kind of completely in like a soft focus look. Well, so it all kind of looks like a dream a little bit.
I looked it up, and the director of photography did that on purpose.
Okay.
There was like a technique he used to make it look ethereal through the whole thing.
And I think it works. I just want to see it in better, not YouTube quality.
Right.
And then... it's her and Ilias, and they're getting close, and they're about to bone down, and then, as is kind of what happens in this movie, she'll get that fucking wig split.
Split hard.
Hard.
It's another shot of just like shocking gore.
Yes.
Yeah. Shocking Fulci gore.
That's the kind of the whole tone of this movie. It's just kind of running through the woods with meat, and we're on an adventure, like
running through the woods with meat.
Boom!
The Nick Rock biopic.
Head split, brains out, head cut off,
And someone's
ripped in
life
half.
is ended.
Yeah, brutally and thoroughly.
No, so a fight breaks out, and it kind of looks like Mace. I couldn't figure out. A clawed hand paws Mason in the face, and then he falls back with blood coming out of his mouth, and I was like, what the fuck just happened?
I think it was just one of the dog
Did he
guys,
die?
right?
It's definitely one of the dogmen, but why is he spitting up blood?
Because he got fucking cold cocked, son. That dog man just punched him straight in the mouth.
His dog strength.
No, but he's spitting up blood like he got shot in the stomach.
Okay. I guess I don't remember that. Punch him in the mouth. He's like,
And then it's like, JK, he's fine.
they just pulled a Houdini on him.
Wow, Nick. And so the dogmen kidnap Ilias. They leave. All the villagers are pretty much dead.
That was
They
one
leave
thing-
Mace for dead.
That was one thing that kind of bothered me. They show up, and maybe this was just my SJW alarm going off. But
here we go.
They butcher all the women, and then they kidnap Ilias. Why not just butcher Ilias with the women? But I guess that
Because
Okran
Okran
wanted
needs
him, right?
Ilias.
Yeah,
She wants his head.
right.
Yep.
Okay.
What we might have already passed it, but there's a scene where Okran is torturing a dog soldier.
That's coming up.
We're
Okay.
not there
Not there
yet.
yet.
I'm sorry.
Oh, dude, be quiet. We're gonna do the rest of the podcast. Okay, so the next thing that happens on
This is the ASMR podcast. I'm playing with papers right now.
Okay, Brandon clearly should not have had that second beer. So
true.
Mace wakes up and he's like, "Oh shit, they took Ilias." Then are they condors?
No, it's the hawk that he
Sorry.
killed at the beginning.
That's right.
They
So-
come back to help. That shows
the
his
hawk-
love for animals.
So the hawk shows up, several hawks, and and I guess he can see what they see, so he figures out that Ilias is being walked across, this
Mordor.
pretty much. It's pretty much Mordor by a bunch of weird barbarian leather daddies, and
That was something I wanted to mention. What's the dynamic? Because they're like dog people, but then they're fucking Mandy-style leather daddies, too. So is it like... What's this community? Like, they're all just followers
Nick,
of
the
Okran?
art department got a memo that said, just make it look
Conan
fantasy.
bad guys.
Conan bad guys.
We have the surplus of dog masks.
Right.
Make it work.
From the Masters of the Universe movie. We've got a couple extra Beast Man heads. Just go with it.
This episode of Real Obscure brought to you by Pumpkin Ale. It is a brown ale brewed with pumpkin and spices, and Brandon made this choice for the podcast, and I just gotta say, he made the right choice.
How am I in better shape than both of you after 2 beers?
Because you're 5 million pounds and 6'5".
I forgot I was a golem person.
I also don't eat very much.
Yeah, no, neither do I.
Which is why you saw me throwing down those chips.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so
Jesus, that's annoying.
so back on track.
So the Condors lead Mace to where Ilias is, and he's being carried around, and they stop mid-walk to talk to Ilias and be like, I could not understand the fucking dialogue.
It's hard.
I tried to read the Japanese subtitles, didn't help.
Made it a little more
A
confusing.
little more confusing.
And then then Ilias says, "No one can." Oh yeah, they're sorry. They're like, "No one can rule the sun." And I was like, "Oh, is that Okran's whole thing? Is they want to rule the sun?"
Yeah, I guess.
That's kind of dumb.
They never really specify what her
There's a
whole-
lot of stuff in this
She
movie
wants
that's
the
not
bow.
specified.
That was
She
enough
wants
for me.
The bow.
Yeah.
Gotta get that
And
bow.
so, and Mace is following them this whole time through the Hawks.
Right.
And he rolls into their camp, goes up to Ilias, and Ilias is like, "You came back for me." He's like, "Shut the fuck up. You're gonna wake up the..."
I am sneaking in on this shit, and I got some medieval flashbangs I'm about to bust out.
You know what? My man.
Right?
My man. Yeah, he's like, "You shut your fucking mouth. I followed you here from some fucking Hawks. You shut the fuck up."
Mace, you came!
Don't blow this!
And so there's a big battle, and we don't really need to get into it. It's kind of your typical fantasy battle. The next shot is what Brandon was referring to earlier, where the leader of the Dogmen is basically killed for not accomplishing the goal, and he gets hot-plated like a motherfucker.
Roasted
Okran doesn't
alive.
take that shit.
Nah,
She's like,
dude.
I don't tolerate failure. I'm gonna French fry your ass.
Because Okran is a domineering golden-faced goddess.
Yes. Are you okay?
I think and then he
Are you
got
okay?
a little away. Yeah. Looked like a lot of blood rushed from his head for a second.
Okran is a dog.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, boy.
Hang on. She is a goddess.
It's, you know what? It's true.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. If there was one movie character that Anthony was going to fall in love with, that was fucking Okran.
Oh, it's true.
Or Mace.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's
or-
true.
or Mace.
Nick. I feel like this whole episode has just been Nick falling in love with Mace,
I
though.
love Mace.
But this torture scene is brutal.
It's rough.
This
It
guy,
is rough.
this dogman is being cooked alive.
Yeah.
And look, I know he fucked up, but that sucks.
That's raw. That's rough.
The whole cave smells like burnt dog hair.
That everybody to remind the others.
Oh, that's
Like,
true.
you smell that? You smell that cooked dog?
That's true.
Don't fuck up, bro.
That'll
Get
be
me
you next
that
time.
bow, son.
That's why Okran is a badass bitch.
Yeah.
And she can put her feet in my mouth anytime.
Let's not.
There it is. We found it.
Ding.
We got to it.
I'm number one.
I was waiting for like a segue there, but he just fucking went for it.
After this, Okran gets high again, and she summons Zora, who is
Zora, yeah.
basically the Gimp from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is a medieval Pulp Fiction gimp for sure.
More effective, I think.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then he shows up, but he's actually is it a wolf or a,
It's a wolf.
yeah, so Zora actually takes the shape of a wolf, but
And then
in his
turns
human form he's
into
a gimp.
Medieval gimp badass guy.
Yeah. And she says, you can have everything if you just kill this guy for me, and Zora's like, yeah, okay, I guess.
I'm on this shit. Zora
And-
doesn't even fucking bust a sweat. He's like, yeah, I'll kill him.
Yep.
I'm Zora,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
And we cut to another scene of Mace and Ilias just kind of talking. Like
Hanging
I said,
out.
walking,
Yeah.
talking, hanging out. Just a couple of buds. A couple of J.O. bros.
It made me
And-
think that this was like a buddy cop movie set in the Conan world. Like, it's
Yeah.
just them fucking hanging out and
Yeah.
just...
And Ilias is young, and he's got that spunk, and he's like, I want to go in there, and I want to kill Okran. I got to get in there. This is my destiny. And Mace, he's like, why don't you just sit the fuck down and
He's like,
just don't
"Calm
worry
down,
about
bro.
it.
Like,
I don't
it's
fuck with. We don't fuck with Okran here.
Right. And then that's when Ilias gets injured. Is that right?
Oh, by the bushes that shoot cartoons?
Yes. I was watching it, and then that happened. They like died down, and the bushes start shooting like arrows at them, but they're like cartoon arrows.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is this greatness?
But they all
What is
sound. But
happening
they all
now?
sound like Star Wars blasters.
Let's
then
just
he
do
gets-
that for 10 minutes.
He gets hit by one, and his foot gets like infected, right? And Mace is like, I'm gonna fucking save your ass. Like, because he doesn't care about people, but then he meets Ilias, and Ilias is his boy.
That sexy
and he's
tight
like,
body.
I am gonna save this boy. And they get on the boat.
Yep.
Yeah.
They get on the boat and they kind of go, and he's like, hey, look, you'll be fine. You just got to kind of wait this shit out.
It's kind of funny because Ilias kind of keeps like groaning and like he'll say some stuff. Mace is like, you'll be fucking fine. Like, he's like, stop bitching. You'll be good.
But here's a really interesting part of the movie, which in an hour and 25-minute movie, this is almost 5 minutes of nothing, which is Ilias going through the fever of being hit by a poison arrow, and it's very Fulci.
Yeah.
All the scenes of these pustules and when this wound.
Like water bladders under the latex making his head swell and shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And then Mace runs afoul of some mud zombies.
Yes.
In the just because I guess the idea was it's Fulci. They're gonna think it's me. It's me, Lucio Fulci. I gotta put a zombie in a movie.
Yep.
Yeah. And he fights
so,
the mud zombies.
which
swamp zombies.
I feel like where Rob Zombie ripped off for House of 1,000 Corpses is the mud zombies
the
in
mud
that movie are an
zombies, yeah.
homage to Conquest.
Yeah. Oh,
Anyway,
wow, yeah.
you guys, have you heard about Three from Hell?
I think you're right. Let's not do this. Let's not do this right now.
I haven't heard of it. What is that?
I wrote Mud Zombies, da best. With a bunch of happy faces in my
Da
notebook.
best.
He's not lying. I'm looking at his notes right now.
And he fights him off. He kills him. He goes back. We cut back to Ilias, who wakes up and sees Mace, and he's like, "Oh, my buddy's back." But then his buddy tries to fucking smash his head in with a rock.
That was awesome. Because he wakes up and you're like, oh, he's back. He's going to help. It legit pulled the rug out from under me when Mace goes, I'm going to kill this fool. Mm-hmm. And then real Mace shows up and you're like, Gimp Boy is a shapeshifter, son. I didn't even know. And then the fight between the two Maces happens, which is just the greatest thing I've ever seen. Because it's two Bone Chakus just throwing down.
Yep. The most metal fight I've ever seen. Fuck you, Mandy. This is the best.
Oh, okay.
Hyper heterosexual fight between the two of them.
Yeah.
My favorite part is when Mace...
Two men in leather diapers fighting.
Yes.
My favorite part is when real Mace defeats Zora, and then he turns back into Zora in like a fade in. And then he goes back to Okron and says, I didn't do it. I failed.
I fucked up.
I messed up.
I dropped the ball.
Can you shove your foot in my mouth?
He didn't say that. Zora didn't say that. That is Anthony.
That's editorializing.
Transporting himself.
And then, while Zora's going back to Okron, Mace heals Ilias. Everything's good. They shake hands for some weird reason.
Well, because they're parting ways, aren't they?
Yeah, they're agreeing to go their separate ways. And
Ilias basically says, I'm out. He goes, I'm going home. Come with me. And Mace's like, fuck you. No.
Yep, this is all I know.
I'm a warrior man. I'm staying here.
Which, thankfully, he decides to go back on. Because much as what usually happens to Mace is he runs afoul of some weird slimy...
albino spider people. It's great. It is great.
Who kind of talk like this.
As soon as they showed up, I was like, thank God that this happened.
Yep.
And they strap
They
Mace
look like
to a
Puddies from
They
Power
do.
Rangers.
They are 100%
with like Halloween
Puddies.
webbing wrapped around
Holy
them.
shit, Lucio Fulci's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You guys, I just exploded in my khakis.
Let's
you got
get a
some
hold
on
of
my
Lucio
shoe.
Fulci and have
Brand-
him make this movie, you guys. It's going to be the best.
Brandon, can you sit down? Brandon,
Wait, what's
Brandon,
happening?
can you sit down?
What's going on?
Diabetes.
He did.
Oh.
You didn't know the diabetes.
I'm sorry.
And when I was reading about it, was it suicide? There seems to be some conflict between that. Because, like, one night Lucio Fulci just went to bed without taking his insulin medicine.
Hey, man, you know what? When you suffer from a long-term illness,
I get it.
You have the fucking right to kill yourself.
get it.
Side note, if we could get serious here for a second, you know what? If no one can take the right to end your own life away from you.
Yes.
And I'm not making light of
I
depression
don't know if you are yet.
or suicide.
Okay.
But I reserve the right to kill myself if I want to.
Okay.
Will you feel better with Okron
this
foot in your
gonna be a-
mouth?
is this-
I don't get what just happened.
Is this going to be a clip played at your funeral? What's happening?
On a loop set to the score from Mandy.
I'm allowed to kill myself. I'm allowed to kill myself.
It is gonna be now.
Oh boy, that took a turn. Anyway, back to the spider creatures.
Back to the spider putties.
I'm not endorsing suicide. I'm saying that people who suffer from long-term illness should be allowed to make the decision for themselves.
Right to die, bro.
Absolutely.
I get it.
Which was a decent episode of Masters of Horror. Oh, shit.
I don't think I've
All
seen
right,
that
well,
one.
guys, I will talk to you guys later.
Check it out.
It's been fun.
Oh, he is getting up and leaving.
I should not have had that second beer.
So, he gets attacked by the fucking spider albino putties, and they put him in a net. Is that right?
Yeah, they capture him.
They
with a
capture him,
net.
and then they put him on an X.
Yeah, they put him on that big wood cross-looking thing.
Yeah. And they're like, you have to tell us this. And then, so this is kind of weird, but Ilias shows up again, and he's like, I came back. I decided I wanted to do this. I'm here for you. And he tries to rescue Maze.
Light arrow.
Then the mountain starts, like, shitting for some reason. I don't know what's happening in this scene. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it was all like shaky and shit, right?
Well, it just looks like this black goo starts coming out of the mountaintop, where it's like,
I don't remember that.
Watch it again.
I'll watch it again.
Because it's right around the time the cross that Mace is tied
tips over
and falls into the water.
Well, I thought one of the putty spider people ran up and was like, and pushed him over.
It's entirely possible that Drunk Anthony does not remember.
Yeah, I think you're inputting the black tar.
No.
That's for sure there.
Sha-na-na. That's in my notes.
Sha-na-na.
Sha-na-na.
And so Ilias...
Shout out to my favorite podcast, which I ripped that off of, and I'm sorry. Go on.
What's that?
Don't worry.
Talking trains with Conductor Steve?
Nah, Say You Love Satan.
Ah.
It's a great podcast.
Okay.
So Ilias starts shooting light arrows at all the albino spider people. And then one of the spider people goes, and pushes Mace over into the water, and he sinks to the bottom.
And this guy is fucked.
He's fucked. He's at the bottom of
But
the water.
he's not. You know why he's not? Because motherfucking dolphins.
Because of dolphins. The note is he being saved by dolphins?
Yep.
And the answer is, fuck yes, he is.
My-
The dolphins come in, they chew the straps off of his wrists and say, that's how badass Mace is.
Yep.
He wasn't even friends with these dolphins beforehand. He landed in their water and the dolphins immediately were like, this is our boy.
Yep.
We have to save him.
I just wrote dolphin rescue exclamation point.
What's
all
funny
day.
is that right as he sinks to the bottom of the ocean, Ilias finishes killing these spider putties, and then he just looks over. He's like, I guess he's dead, and he just leaves.
Yeah. He's like, fuck.
Well, I kind of tried,
I
right?
tried. I'm giving myself an A for effort.
And I'm going back home.
Yep.
And so, but then later he finds Mace washed up on the beach.
Yeah.
Because reasons, who gives a shit?
Because the dolphins saved him.
And they're like, okay, they have a discussion about what they're going to do. And he's like, okay, it's finally time. Mace has decided it's finally time for me to fight and face
Bring the fight
Okron,
to Okron.
right? Like, I can't run from it anymore. I got to just lay it down.
Right.
But first, we should find a place to sleep.
Yeah. Let's take a nap in the middle of the day before our big fight. Because we want to fight her at night.
Duh.
Obviously.
And
In
in
the
the
darkness.
because a golden goddess needs to get her beauty rest.
All right. Let's keep going.
She gotta keep those feet nice and
Nice.
clean.
Oiled.
Go into my mouth.
Dive into my wet.
Okay. So they're napping.
So they're
Clip
napping
those toenails.
They're
when
napping in the desert.
because I want to feel those toenails graze the back of my throat.
Good.
I like getting little slices
Lord.
on the inside of my mouth from your sharp toenails.
Because I want to bleed.
I'm gonna
on
wait
the
till
bottom
they're
of your
done.
foot.
God, I'm gonna taste all the crevices of your foot, Omicron.
Oh, you guys get out of my bedroom.
Okay. They're napping in the desert.
When a hand comes out of the ground,
Yep,
grabs Ilias's ankle and drags him down
Yep.
to
Hell,
hell.
No, it's just like underground, right?
It's just
With
a cave.
Yeah, it's a
a
cave.
cave
With
in.
mole people?
And listen,
yeah,
I think
that's
they're
the
just-
joke I made.
think
It's like,
they're
is there mole people?
You'll never escape the fortress of the mole.
Ha, Simpsons.
Nick just goes.
Nostalgia.
Nick just goes. Yep. Wow. Like you don't enjoy a good.
Of course I do.
What was that character's
Hans
name?
Moleman.
Hans Moleman, dog.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Shame.
Yeah,
Shame.
you should. I'm sorry.
Shame. Do we
Pee on
start,
me
like,
for all the
pulling-
shame I should have.
oh, he gets us every time.
How do we always walk into it?
I would love to walk into it.
Oh man.
So the mole drags him underground.
And this is where the VHS to YouTube transfer gets a real muddy.
real muddy.
And
All you saw were the mole's like fingertips doing like wizard moves in the dark
Yeah.
for a while.
Wiggle fingers.
Yeah.
and in set to some screaming,
Yeah.
Mace wakes up. He's like, "Where the fuck did Ilias go?" He goes to find him, and then after searching in this dark cave for a while, he finds a body strung up by its ankles from the top of the cave with no head. And it turns out that they captured Ilias. They cut his fucking head off.
Straight decapped
This,
Ilias.
Yeah.
this legitimately caught me off guard.
Yes, me too.
It caught me off guard the second time I watched it, because the first time I watched it, I was like, I'm not paying attention.
He, like, and then they show someone carrying his head. I'm like, he fucking decapitated?
Yep.
Like, the main guy just got decapitated
Yeah.
for real?
So you know what? Mad props.
Mad props.
And so
Because I did not see that shit coming.
after that, Zora brings the head to Okron.
He didn't even make it to the final battle.
It's true.
He didn't die heroically in the
Nope.
final battle. He was napping in the afternoon.
He got his
the
head
day
fucking
before-
cut off by a mole person.
The day before the battle.
Yep.
The afternoon before the battle. Like that. What the fuck is that? Like, yes. Because it just caught me completely off guard, and that
same.
doesn't happen a lot anymore.
And so Zora brings the head to Okron and says, "Yo, I did it.
Boom.
Where would I was promised."
Feet, please.
Sick. I'm Zora. I'm the leather daddy in this movie. And so she's like, "Hey, I brought you this head. You don't have this prom anymore." And she goes, "Fuck yeah! I'm gonna crack this bitch open. I'm gonna suckle the brains out, and I'm gonna get super high off this dude's brains, dog." And then the eyes open, and she's like, "Oh fuck! I can't crack this dude's head open because his spirit is still alive, and he's
In
looking
that
at me,
head.
and he's looking into me." Right? Cut to Mace with Ilias's body, giving him a
Cremating
proper
it, yeah.
fucking Viking funeral. And then we hear Ilias saying, "Yo, dog, you just gotta cover your body in my... You gotta burn me down. Cover your body
As soon as he
in my
reached
ashes."
into the body cavity and took a handful of ash and just started like, I was like, oh,
Yep. Oh, shit.
Okron's in for some shit.
Because-
Mace is coating himself in some Ilias ash.
Because Ilias is like, "Hey, Mace, it's me, Ilias, and I want you to know that in order to defeat Okron, you gotta be me.
Gotta be me, man.
You can't just take all that rage and
supposed
revenge."
to get decapped. I was supposed to take her down, but now I'm ahead. So now you gotta do it, and the way you gotta be me is to wear me. Heavy.
Yeah, my man.
That spirit lives on.
Metal as fuck.
That spirit lives on in Buffalo
Yeah.
Bill.
Which you guys,
Hang on.
The hero of the modern age.
I don't know about that.
I'm the hero of this movie.
I'm gonna wear Ilias.
Here's the interesting thing.
Was she a great big
This-
fat gold
this-
person?
This is like the start of the third act of a movie, but really, there's 5 minutes left at this point.
Yeah. It puts
Which
the
is
ashes
great.
on the skin.
Or else it gets the poison bush again.
But yeah, this is like the last 5 minutes, right? Because I remember checking the runtime because I knew it was short.
Right.
And then Ilias gets decapped and Mace is fucking putting the ashes on. He's like, fucking battle time. And I'm like, you got like 2 minutes, bro.
Yeah, it's
What's
like
happening?
it's like if that scene in From Dusk Till Dawn had 2 minutes left when they get backed into the back room
Right.
in the bar and they go
And then it's like, yeah, and they do the whole tooling up and everything. If you had 2 minutes left.
Oh, I would love a scene of Mace tooling up.
Yeah. Like a suiting up montage. Yep. Putting on a new
Swinging
leather.
those bone chakus covered in ashes.
Putting on his
Glistening
killing.
fucking god in the night, getting
Yep.
ready to kill people.
Yep.
Wow.
He's awesome.
Putting on a new leather diaper.
He's awesome. Well, let's cut that. 'Cause
So
we don't need to see every minute of
So
the
Mace
scene.
goes out to have the final battle with Okron, which is honestly not terribly climactic.
No,
he
not at
shoots
all.
the arrows from the magic bows. It basically kills all the dogmen. Zora, I don't even think it's even shown what Zora does.
No.
But the impression I get is Zora's like, I'ma go.
Yeah,
Because
you wanted me to get you the bow. I got you. I killed the guy. Like, I'm outie. My job is done.
my job is done, and I'm not getting killed by no motherfucking magic bow. So goodbye.
Peace.
And then that's when Okron is like, "You all are fucking useless losers," and all the blood rushed to
did
my
I do?
dick.
No one gets my feet.
I was about to say, what'd that do for you?
And so all the Wolfmen are dead. Mace shoots a final arrow that knocks her golden mask off, to which
Yeah.
we just see the most Fulci-ass
I
rule.
couldn't even see because of the transfer. Because she was in some like glowing red room. The mask got knocked off.
Which
and I heard like, I'm like,
fucking-
oh, we're gonna see some fucking like Ernest scared stupid troll face.
Which
I'm down.
Which I fucking bet looks super sick if there was a
yeah,
Blu-ray.
yeah. If there was a Blu-ray or something where I could actually see what the fuck is going on.
Mace knocks the mask off, and she's a ghoul. She's
Anthony still wants her feet, regardless of the troll face.
I don't care. I'll just lick the golden mask as in between feet.
We don't need that. Visual.
Inside or outside of the golden mask?
Inside, obviously.
Yeah, of course. See, Nick
You
gets
need
it.
the troll face residue.
Secretly, Nick would do it too. He just doesn't want anybody to know.
You gotta get that breath dew.
Oh, I love breath dew. Can you just come over here and breathe onto my face so I can feel the tiny droplets of
the new special edition Mountain Dew. Breath Dew.
Code breath.
Code breath. What's the flavor?
All right, goddammit! Everybody gather around while I wrap this up.
Okay, we're sitting around the campfire. Lay it down for us.
After this...
Keep the feet out of it.
After this, Okron turns into a wolf and joins Zora.
Yeah.
We never see Mace. Shut up. We never see Ashley.
Who? Who? Wait, hang on.
What?
I'm sorry.
Subliminal.
Sorry.
Who is this?
Me, Mom. So Okron turns into a wolf. Join Zora, and they run off into the sunset. Right? We never see what happens to Mace. Movie over. Credits roll. Credits roll that have to specify anything. Yes. Any references to person is entirely accidental, and everyone here is fictional.
The first fucking thing they tell you in the credits is like, none of this shit was real. Just so you know.
Just so you know.
But
there's no magic bow.
So the bad guys didn't lose. They just turned into wolves and went, peace. And Mace is like, good enough. Good enough.
He wipes his hands off.
My work here is done. Gotta get all this Ilias off me.
Well, that boy's
I'm
dead.
Ready to roll.
I killed a bunch of dogmen.
I scared away the gold mask lady, but...
So,
right.
I had a ton of notes for this movie.
So many notes.
I do. I have a ton of notes for this movie, none of which we used at the start when was where we should have.
They're your notes. But we wouldn't be using them.
No, I know. It's my fault. I'm drunk. But interestingly enough, not a single person in this movie is dead or has a sad story. Everybody in here has had a... Well, yeah, but who cares?
In the movie.
Not the director of the movie.
Fulci's not in the movie.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, actor-wise.
Is the movie.
Right.
No one's dead. Everyone's had pretty solid careers in other Fulci movies or Mario Bava movies. And
that's a logical sidestep.
Yeah, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, because it wasn't just so-and-so is known for. Conquest.
Conquest, yeah.
And so, obviously, we all know that this was kind of the answer to the Conan movie.
The early 80s.
Early 80s,
sorcery, muscle.
Robert E. Howard inspired sword and sorcery movies.
For sure.
But I'll go first and just say that this movie is nonsensical. It's super dumb at times, and not a whole lot of it makes sense. I don't give a fuck. I fucking love this movie. There's enough in here for me to be like, this is cool. I like the ideas. I like the cinematography, because the version Brandon and I originally saw is really cool to watch. And it was... I just hadn't seen it before, and I had no idea that Fulci had even ventured into fantasy films.
I didn't know this was a thing
until
you told me.
Neither did we.
Yeah.
So, I fucking love this movie, and if you dig Fulci, if you dig 80s films, 110% watch Conquest. It makes no sense, but it is a damn good time, and it's bitchin'. Nick?
Bitchin'. Yeah. It's metal, it's rad, it's like the one word is just rad. It's a rad fucking movie. Like there are parts that are slow because of the time. Like it's just, two guys in the woods can get kind of slow sometimes, and Fulci has a thing where his pacing isn't stellar, or at least that's what I've noticed, but it's fucking rad. I don't care. Because even if there are boring parts, the parts that aren't boring, when Mace is fighting fucking albino spider people, and when Okron is torturing a fucking dog over a giant grill, like Spit style, awesome. It's rad. Yeah. It's like a hardcore Beastmaster, and I dig it.
Mm-hmm. One thing before Brandon goes, I do want to point out that the score for this movie is killer as fuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Music's
great.
It
was actually done by Claudio Simonetti, who is also a member of Goblin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Which is probably why the score is so goddamn rad.
Yeah.
Anyway, Brandon?
Yes, I would recommend it. It's like if someone was running a D&D campaign and was like, fuck you guys, I'm just running this shit by the seat of my pants. Ha-ha!
Half the time I was watching this, I was like, I want to do a D&D campaign in this world. Mm-hmm. I want to set a campaign in this world, and I'll play the fuck out of that all day.
Yep.
That I thought that through more of the movie than I should have.
Yeah, this is a total recommend. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And was there any weird rapey stuff in this movie?
Not really. I mean, there was
not
kind
overtly.
of not overtly. There was kind of the objectification of the tribal women, but I mean, not really. And Okron got sexy, but that was on Okron's terms. Mm-hmm. She's like, I want to get sexy with this snake.
Yep. Yeah, and also, I was like, you get sexy.
Side note. Blood Feast, we totally glazed over it. No rapey shit in Blood Feast either.
True. Right.
No sexual violence or anything.
In the episode before Legend of the Overfiend, we were like, I'm tired of all this fucking sexual assault.
And then you guys went into tentacle rape.
And then we literally just tripled down on it.
Right. And then Blood Feast, there was none. Mm-hmm. Caligari? There was I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. Yeah. Like, because I guess her having Dr. Abel go down on her when he's not right in his head could be construed that way.
He seems into it, though.
He was into it. Yeah. He was all for it.
But that's the new Doctor.
Yeah.
So he's all about cunnilingus.
Okay, yeah. So and then this one, there wasn't really any sexual assault or rape. So we've been doing all right.
Yeah. Hey.
I mean, Caligari was overtly sexual, but not in a negative way. Mm-hmm. So, all right.
Yeah.
Pat on the back for the Real Obscure podcast.
Finally, fucking finally. Don't worry, I'm sure we'll tank it eventually.
We'll ruin it.
Oh, we'll ruin it when we get to the next director dissection. That's for sure.
Oh, fuck. We are.
We're gonna we are just gonna crash land into that. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for hanging in there.
Thanks for getting through this.
I appreciate that in a movie full of dog people, there was less dog dick than the last episode.
That's true.
So we restrained ourselves. There was a bit more Anthony Foot action, but you know.
How in a movie full of dogmen did we not talk about dog dick?
Considering how prevalent it was previously, in a movie that had no dogs or dick.
It's true. You guys... I'm really proud of this.
I'm good. We're good.
Great. You know
this was a success.
Let's all pat each other on the back. Mm-hmm. And
three-way high five.
Until next time, everybody, I've been your host, Anthony Trevino.
Are we going to talk about what we're doing next time since we know? Yeah. Let's throw it out there.
Man, just fucking sideline my outro.
I'm not trying to sideline your outro, bro. I'm just saying.
It's only because you called yourself the host.
Brandon, yeah. So now we got to knock you down a peg.
Did I do that? You guys, I'm very drunk.
It's Brandon here's pick.
I'm the
for
goddamn
the
host of this motherfucking show. I run this shit.
If you're gonna be the host, you're gonna be Wolfman Anthony.
You're not gonna do shit. I have to do the whole episode like that?
Yes. If you're the host.
Okay, so next week.
Done. Challenge accepted.
Next week.
Motherfucker.
Next time, we are going to do a little movie called The Dark Backward.
Have fun with that.
I almost want to tell you what I think about this movie now, but I'll wait.
You have to wait.
And
that's the whole point of the show.
Until next time, I've been Anthony Trevino, and we don't really have a social media presence right now. You can follow some of us individually on stuff like Instagram and Facebook, but what we really need to do is get rid of that gray circle that's on SoundCloud.
I've been contemplating starting my movie review website back up, so I might plug that on here if I start it back up, but I don't know if I'm going to. I'm kind of waffling on it.
I did drop the podcast on the website I write for.
Nice.
It's in my bio now.
Nice.
But anyway, that's no one's business. Yeah. We don't need to have this discussion on air.
That is behind the scenes shit right there.
I've been Anthony Trevino. You can find me on Instagram at AnthonyT697. That's really the only social media platform I'm fairly active on anymore. Brandon.
I'm Brandon _Freese.
Not 619.
Not 619. Which I have been. Anthony.
Yeah, it's true.
Insisted.
No, not insisted. has insisted multiple times that Brandon is Brandon underscore free underscore 619. I have been very wrong. You are following the wrong Brandon Freese.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Do not associate yourself with that Brandon. He is bad news. Brandon underscore Freese on Instagram, and I'm a talking pot.
We don't like doing this, but we know we have to.
I'm Nick Rock. You can find me at the electronics department at Walmart.
And outside the Walmart, eating 2 corn dogs at the same time.
Double fisting corn dogs, and I will sell you a PlayStation, my friend. So,
good night, and thanks for listening.
Woot.